Thursday, December 4th, 2025, AGNDD intelliReport topic. Steve Cropper dies at 84. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated article-based video. Steve Cropper, guitarist, songwriter, and shaper of Memphis soul music, dies at 84. As a member of Booker T and the MGs and as a producer, he played a pivotal role in the rise of Stax Records, a storied force in R&B in the 1960s and 70s. By Bill Friskix Warren, New York Times, published December 3, 2025. Steve Cropper, the prodigious guitarist, songwriter, and producer who played a pivotal role in shaping the lean, gut-bucket soul music made at Memphis's Stax Records in the 1960s and 70s, died on Wednesday in Nashville. He was 84. His death at a rehabilitation facility was confirmed by his wife, Angel Cropper, who did not specify the cause. As a member of Booker T and the MGs, the house rhythm section at Stax, Mr. Cropper played the snarling Fender Telecaster lick on Green Onions, the funky hit instrumental by the MGs from 1962. He also contributed the ringing guitar figure that opened Sam and Dave's gospel-steeped Soul Man, the 1966 single on which the singer Sam Moore shouted, "Play it, Steve!" to cue Mr. Cropper's stinging single-string solo on the chorus. Both records were top 10 pop hits and reached #1 on the R&B chart. Mr. Cropper had an innate feel for a groove as well as a penchant for feeling over flash, gifts evident in his bell-toned guitar work on Otis Redding's "Sittin' on the Dock of the Bay." In 2015, he was ranked 39th on Rolling Stone's list of the 100 greatest guitarists of all time. Britain's Mojo magazine slotted him second behind only Jimi Hendrix on a similar list of guitarists published in 1996. "I've always thought of myself as a rhythm player," Mr. Cropper said in an interview with Guitar.com in 2021. "I get off on the fact that I can play something over and over and over, while other guitar players don't want to even know about that. They won't even play the same riff or the same lick twice." Mr. Cropper was also a prolific songwriter. His credits, typically as a co-writer, include the epic-defining likes of Dock of the Bay, Wilson Pickett's In the Midnight Hour, and Eddie Floyd's Knock on Wood. All three were #1 R&B singles. Mr. Redding's record topped the pop chart as well, and won Grammy Awards for Best R&B Song and Best Male R&B Vocal Performance in 1969. In charge of artists and repertoire at Stax during the 1960s, Mr. Cropper produced the recordings of many of the songs he had a hand in writing. His website states that he was involved in virtually every record issued by Stax from the fall of 1961 through year-end 1970. Judging by the testimony of the Stax co-founder Jim Stewart, it is not hard to imagine that this was the case. "Steve was my right-hand man," Mr. Stewart said of Mr. Cropper's contributions to the label's legacy in Peter Guralnick's 1986 book, Sweet Soul Music, Rhythm and Blues, and the Southern Dream of Freedom. "He would come to the studio and sit there and keep the doors open and take care of business. He was disciplined and responsible. Steve was the key." In the process, Mr. Cropper helped reimagine the Southern soul music of the era, imbuing it with a simultaneously urban and down-home feel, a bluesy mix of sinew and grit that was instantly recognizable over the radio airwaves. Widely sampled, the records he played on or produced influenced subsequent generations of musicians, especially in hip-hop and R&B. Mr. Cropper achieved further acclaim in the late 1970s for his work with the Blues Brothers, the musical side project of the Saturday Night Live co-stars John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. By then, Stax had closed, having fallen into insolvency in 1975, and Mr. Cropper had begun immersing himself in freelance session and production work with artists like Art Garfunkel and Ringo Starr. Briefcase Full of Blues, the Blues Brothers' first album, included a remake of Soul Man, complete with a reprise of the shout, "Play it, Steve," from Mr. Belushi on the chorus. The single reached number 14 on the pop chart in 1979, anticipating the release of the 1980 movie The Blues Brothers, starring Mr. Belushi and Mr. Aykroyd, and featuring Mr. Cropper as Steve the Colonel Cropper, who plays in a band called Murph and the Magic Tones. Born of Mr. Cropper's tendency to take charge of situations, the Colonel was a childhood nickname that stuck with him even after he established himself as a musician. Stephen Lee Cropper was born on October 21, 1941, on a farm near Dora Mummer, near the Arkansas border. He was the only child of Hollis and Grace Atkins Cropper. His father was a special agent for the St. Louis-San Francisco Railway, and his mother was a schoolteacher. Steve was exposed to country music early, but was introduced to gospel and rhythm and blues only after moving to Memphis with his parents at age 9. He bought his first guitar by mail order at 14. His earliest musical influences were stylistically diverse, among them the country guitarist Chet Atkins, the jazz guitarist Tal Farlow, the bluesman Jimmy Reed, and Loman Pauling of the influential R&B quintet the Five Royales. In 2011, he paid tribute to Mr. Pauling's transfixing fretwork with dedicated A Salute to the Five Royales, an album featuring singers like Betty LaVette and Lucinda Williams performing versions of the group's recordings. As a teenager, Mr. Cropper and several schoolmates, including the future MG's bassist Donald Duck Dunn, formed a band called the Royal Spades. After changing their name to the Marquis in 1961, they had a top 10 pop hit with the slinky instrumental Last Night. Mr. Cropper had by that point also done session work in Memphis for Sun Records and High Records. In 1962, while Mr. Cropper and the MGs were jamming between sessions at Stax, Mr. Stewart, impressed by the riffing, organ-driven blues he heard, surreptitiously captured the quartet's playing on tape. Green Onions was the result. Booker T and the MGs, the organist Booker T. Jones served as the ensemble's leader, served as the rhythm section at Stax for 9 years. Its members also included Al Jackson Jr. on drums and Louis Steinberg on bass. Mr. Dunn replaced Mr. Steinberg in 1965. The original MG's lineup, with both black and white members, Mr. Cropper was white, helped integrate Stax at a time when the four men would not have been permitted to appear on a public bandstand together in the segregated South. The MGs had 6 top 40 pop hits for Stax, 2 of which, Hang 'Em High and Time Is Tight, were featured on movie soundtracks. Many of their recordings were sampled by hip-hop artists, from Roxanne Shante to Raekwon of the Wu-Tang Clan. According to the website Who Sampled, more than 24 acts have interpolated into their recordings passages from the MG's 1971 album, Melting Pot. In 1970, having released 2 albums of his own, the second was a collaboration with the guitarists Pop Staples and Albert King, Mr. Cropper left Stax in a dispute over how the label's new co-owner, Al Bell, was managing things. Melting Pot was recorded before his departure. After opening his own studio in Memphis, Mr. Cropper moved to Los Angeles in 1975, doing session work for John Lennon and Leon Russell before joining Levon Helm and the RCO All-Stars. From there, he and Mr. Dunn were recruited to play in the Blues Brothers, an affiliation that led to multiple tours and recordings, including appearances in a 1998 movie sequel, Blues Brothers 2000. Booker T and the MGs were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1992. Cruisin', a track from their 1994 reunion album, That's the Way It Should Be, won a Grammy for Best Pop Instrumental Performance. In the 2000s, Mr. Cropper released the first of the 2 albums he made with the former Rascals singer Felix Cavaliere and worked on records by the Pixies frontman Frank Black. He was elected to the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2005. He also appeared in Stax Soulsville, USA, an acclaimed HBO docuseries in 2024. Mr. Cropper's first marriage to Betty Grooms ended in divorce. In 1988, he married Angel Hightower. In addition to his wife, he is survived by 2 children from his first marriage, Stephen and Ashley Cropper, and 2 children from his second marriage, Cameron Cropper and Andrea Cropper Register. Mr. Cropper's affiliation with the Blues Brothers spanned 4 decades, but back in 1978, when he and Mr. Dunn first joined the band, skeptics failed to understand why they would want to collaborate with the 2 comedians from Saturday Night Live. "We got a lot of flack, Duck and I did, about playing with those guys," Mr. Cropper told Guitar.com. "Folks said, 'What are you guys doing with these 2 clowns from SNL?' But those guys were great musicians," he went on. John Belushi had played drums in a band for years before he ever went to Second City, the Chicago improv comedy troupe, and Aykroyd is actually playing the harmonica on everything we did. A correction was made on December 4, 2025. Because of an editing error, an earlier version of this obituary misstated the original publication year of Peter Guralnick's book, Sweet Soul Music, Rhythm and Blues and the Southern Dream of Freedom. It was 1986, not 1999, when a subsequent paperback edition was published. When we learn of a mistake, we acknowledge it with a correction. If you spot an error, please let us know at nightnews@nytimes.com. Bill Friskix Warren writes about popular music for the Times from Nashville. Ash Wu and Stella Rain Chu contributed reporting, and Kirsten Noyes contributed research.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD intelliReport, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.